What's up, YouTubers and puzzle enthusiasts? Have you ever wanted a 4x4 ghost cube but couldn't find where to buy one? And maybe they're too expensive. Do you have a 3D printer? I can show you how to turn this cheap budget 4x4 into this. Wow. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as snapping your fingers. But in this video, I hope to show you some steps I did to make this beautiful puzzle. I left a timestamp in the description if you'd like to skip ahead to the scramble. Enjoy the video. Okay, so this is a 4x4 ghost cube I'm working on using 3D printed extensions. I found this on Thingiverse and I'll leave a link in the description. It's very rough. So far I've only super glued the extensions on. I haven't done any sanding, I haven't used any epoxy sculpt, and it's been difficult. And as you would expect, it doesn't turn great. That actually turned pretty good those first few turns. It locks up really easy because I don't have any epoxy sculpt and I haven't sanded down any of the parts. One of the things that makes this type of puzzle so difficult is once you've super glued the extensions on, that's it. You have, a second or a fraction of a second to make sure it's centered and in place. You can see the inner 4x4. It's a cheap 4x4. It's like a budget chi. It is aligned right now, so I'll try to show you that. My goal is to just make this puzzle playable. And so far, the way it's going, it's not very playable. I mean, it does technically function. I wanted to assemble most of this before I did anything else, just to make sure that it was going to be decent enough. And as you can see, some of the original pieces stick out of the extensions, and those will be sanded down. And I did get a belt sander, so that will be fun to use. The 4x4 is very difficult to reassemble because of all the inner pieces. What I mean by that is when putting in these four center pieces right here, I had to use tape and tape up all the pieces and the screw and spring inside, set it, tighten it a little bit, and then remove all the tape that was holding everything in place. Here's what the extensions look like when they come off the printer bed. Alright, so until I come back and show you some more work I've done, that's it. So as I disassemble and reassemble this ghost cube, I use tape to keep everything together. I keep all the respective layers separate, because if I were to mix up all the pieces, it'd be really hard to get back together, to know where everything goes. So the tape helps me know where everything's supposed to be. As you can see, the inside here, a lot of these edges are really sharp, not like the curved edges on the 4x4 pieces. And I've just finished this layer, so I'll show you those pieces. I've added some epoxy sculpt where the puzzle, the original 4x4 pieces, stick out further than the 3D printed extensions. I'm just leaving it as is. And I'm not worried about finishing every single surface of this puzzle. I am sanding the outside and trying to round the very sharp corners and the edges. Mainly these edges right here are the ones I was talking about that I feel that it's important to round those so the puzzle will move better. So here's a corner piece. It's not bad. It's not bad. I haven't decided if I'm going to paint it or not. I'll make that decision after I assemble it and see how it looks. I've had some not so good experiences with spray paint in the past. I may just finish it with Scotch-Brite. We'll see. A ghost puzzle like this, it's not even necessary to add stickers, but it does make it very pretty. These type of corner pieces usually have several different pieces, and like I said about super gluing, I'm doing it by eye. I'm just kind of feeling where the edges meet and placing it and hope it's flush and straight. Again, if the original 4x4 piece extends out further than the 3D printed extension, that's okay, because that won't hinder the movement at all. Let me show you a few more pieces here. Oh yes, so here's an edge piece that I may add some more epoxy sculpt. I didn't do the best job. My feeling is that this being one of my first puzzles that I'm making with 3D printed extensions, I don't know how it will turn out, how well it will function. I was using my belt sander to trim these edges, and it's very aggressive, and I quickly broke through on the edge there, and I may fix that. But these are looking really good, and I've sanded and sometimes only really partially sanded the outer surface. I know when it's scrambled, a lot of these surfaces will show. I'm not too concerned about it, and if everything works out well after I've assembled it, then I'll see if I need to make any other changes. But I have 40 more pieces to finish before this is done. I'm going to remove this next layer, add some epoxy sculpt and sand and finish, and then I'm going to assemble that half, and then I'm going to flip it over, tape the finished part and disassemble this and finish those pieces. Half of the pieces I've finished sanding and using some epoxy sculpt, and I'm going to start to reassemble this first finished half of the puzzle. The pieces aren't perfect. I'm intentionally not making them perfect because it's not expected to be, this being my first. I went kind of crazy using the belt sander to take off some of these inner edges because I don't have very much patience, and this has taken loads of time, this entire project, so I just can't justify spending more time polishing and perfecting every piece. But I think these rounded inner edges are really going to help the puzzle turn better. So I'm going to load up the other layer, and then I'm going to untape it, and we'll see how this first half of the puzzle looks and see how those layers turn. Half the puzzle is now assembled with finished pieces, and fortunately they turn really well. I mean, not bad at all. Hopefully when I finish the rest of the puzzle, they'll turn well too. I'm so excited to have finally finished roughly sanding these parts and be done with this puzzle. Some of the pieces are really delicate and don't fit perfectly, but I wanted to show you putting in the last 4 centers. This entire collection of pieces, there's 12 pieces here, including the spring and the screw, these hidden center pieces, center cap, and I've got them all taped up, and then I'll peel the tape off after I put it together. With the 4x4, I have to be careful because there's a little notch here. No, the camera won't zoom. Alright, so anyways. Alright, I think that's fit in there. Now, it's kind of awkward doing this with the camera. Well, I guess I could take the tape off first. That might be smart. Alright. Now I'll get in there with the screwdriver and tighten this thing. Ah, tape everywhere. I can't see what I'm doing. Alright, I think I've made contact. Just gonna probably over tighten it and then I'll back it off. Alright, now to remove the tape. Let's see how these 2 layers turn that I just put together. Not bad, not bad. Remove the rest of the tape. Yeah, I'd love to make a puzzle someday like Nathan Wilson or Twisty Tex. I'm going to be making some puzzles with his extensions. First the 5x5x7, and then I'd like to make the 3x5x7 bump cube. And I've learned a lot from this project to take my time, really. I'm always in a hurry to finish the puzzle, and I get anxious, especially towards the end. Alright, all the tape is gone. So that was the layer that we just tightened. Yeah, those 4 turn really well, but so much better than it used to be. Now let's line it up and see how we go this way. Oh wow. Oh, sweet. Oh wow. That feels really loose, but try it down some different. Wow, I'm really happy with that. Put a little more care and time into my next one. I started this puzzle on August 8th or 9th, and I took a break in between, did a few other things, but it's been an ongoing thing. And once I finally assembled all the pieces and saw that the layers turned well, I was really excited to add some black paint to it, because I'd not done a very good job finishing the puzzle. I didn't sand it very well, and I wanted to paint it just so it had something behind the stickers. And I didn't do that great of a job. I did give it a couple light coats, held the can far away, and I've sanded it since. One of the difficulties I've had with painting in the past is it feels sticky besides being blotchy. As you can see, I'm almost nearly finished with this, and all I need to do now is add the stickers. And I recently received some stickers I ordered from Chewy's. Unfortunately, they are too big for this puzzle, so rather than let them go to waste, I am going to try to trim them down with this hobby knife I borrowed from a friend. I should really invest in one of these and get one of these. So the story with the stickers is the original template looked like this. The stickers were lined up and right on top of each other, and I sent this to Jason at Chewy Stickers, and I'm sure once he brought it up in whatever program he uses before he prints them, it was a mess, because when I imported it into SolidWorks, there were overlapping lines, the sketches weren't closed, so I could imagine that would be a lot of trouble for his sticker cutter. Anyways, what I did was I took this template and then I tried to drag the pieces apart, and in doing so I stretched and changed the dimensions and some of the relations of the pieces. And then I had the brilliant idea, you know, after I had already ordered the stickers, is why not just print the template on paper and then cut it out and then see if it fits. And sure enough, let me just try to find where this goes really quick. Here we go. Anyways. I realized once I had printed the original template that these sketches are approximately the exact size of the pieces. So to create a sticker template, I'd have to draw the stickers inside of these. Or redo the whole thing from the ground up by scanning each face. Half the stickers are done, and if you squint your eyes and look at it from far away, it looks pretty good. When I get up closer though, it looks like some of these corners I used my teeth and chewed on to make them fit, because no matter how hard I try, I can't make a rounded edge with this tool. I have been using a ruler to trim these stickers. A few of these stickers actually fit, and it's usually the ones near the outside of the puzzle. There were a couple on each face that fit. For example, this one fit pretty well. Some of the corner ones fit okay. I kind of like the look of it when it rounds over the edge. It's like a new smartphone screen. Anyways, I'll finish this and scramble it. Well, I finally finished stickering it, and as I put more stickers on it and got closer to finish, I got more and more impatient. The stickers that are on a curved surface are likely to peel off eventually. Oh, yeah, I feel one peeling over here somewhere. Anyways, I'm gonna clean up this mess I made, little pieces of stickers everywhere. I've never had to trim stickers by hand before. I guess that's how people used to do it before they had sticker services like they do today. What a pain that is. I'm happy with the results though, and I'm so glad to be done with this puzzle. The last step is I'm gonna scramble it for you. I'm gonna talk about some things I learned while making this. I hope you got something out of this video, you know, even if it's what not to do, or if you'd like to get into this hobby or try something like this. If you'd like to make one of these, I would suggest first familiarize yourself with 3D printing. Print the walls of these pieces on the thick side so that during the sanding process you don't break through any of them, especially on the edges. Which brings me to my next point. When you're using a belt sander, only use a belt sander when it's on to take off huge chunks of a puzzle. I made that mistake of grinding down some edges when it was on and quickly broke through. Sand the extensions where they'll be glued to the puzzle so they fit well, especially on this type of puzzle. Don't paint anything without practice and knowing what you're doing. And when you're making a sticker template, check to see that everything will fit. I discovered afterwards that if I printed my sticker template at home on my inkjet printer and on a piece of paper and cut out the paper, I could see if it would fit or not. I'd say already that's probably a pretty good scramble. It can be a little bit of a difficult puzzle to turn, and that's just the nature of the ghost cubes themselves. What do you think of that? It's time for me to try to solve this thing. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.